Hey, good afternoon, everyone. May the good Lord bless you. Hope you're having yourself a wonderful day. I really do. You all, in this video, last week I showed you this skinning fleshing knife that I made for a trapper's trap line. We're going to make something similar to this morning or this afternoon. The only thing we're not going to do is put the gut hook in the one that we're going to make, okay? This is pretty simple. I'm going to show you just exactly how I did it. We're going to, you see the rivets? We're going to actually pour these rivets, you all, and this is something that I learned how to do here just in the last month or so. Instead of driving a rivet through this piece of metal, we're going to actually pour this rivet, okay? But this particular knife, you guys, that I made is 8.5 inches long. So the blade is really 3.5 inches, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take a old file that I've already annealed, simply heat it up to critical in the forge, put it in really fine white ashes, or I use this garden lime. You put it in there, you let it cool, and it's annealed. Now, if you know how to know that it's annealed is you can actually file this file with a file and cut it, okay? So I've already got it marked here on the length of it. So what I'll do is I'll take my grind wheel and cut it off. We will take this piece of Osage orange for the handle. What we're going to do is we're going to drill a hole in the center of this piece of Osage orange, if it don't burn the drill bit up, in there to the length of the tang, which is going to be in there probably about, I'm going to say, about 2.5 inches. For skinning and fleshing, this knife don't have to be this don't have to have a full tang on it, okay? So that's what I'm going to do. Now you can already see that I've drilled a couple of holes in it. And one of those holes is going to end up being the rivet that we're going to pour liquid. A liquid rivet is what we're going to use right here when we do this. And I know that sounds pretty peculiar, but that's exactly what this one's got in it, you all. It's got a liquid rivet in it. So let me get this stuff set up and cut, and then we'll get on with this process. All right, you all, can you see that? Let me turn this light on here. Hopefully I'll turn it on. There we go. I need to get you over here just a little bit. Okay, so we're going to make this shape on this cut-off file. And I'm just going to take my regular grindstone over here and do that. And I'll let you guys watch that process from a distance so I don't throw stuff all over my camera here. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to take our cutoff wheel and we're going to cut us a couple of slots up here and take that material out so that we can drop this down inside the hole we're going to drill in the Osage orange. So remember, when you buy a buck knife, I think it was like 1902 is when Buck, a apprentice blacksmith, decided he would make some knives that would really hold an edge better. And what he was using were old files, okay? So old files are really good carbon steel. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and grind the shape on this. That didn't take very long, did it? Now, I will take it over to the my cutoff wheel, and we'll cut a slot up in here and take some of this material right here off. All right, you all, now that we've cut this material off, this will be the tang of our knife, and one of these holes will end up being the rivet hole, okay? Now what we'll do is we'll take it back to the grindstone over here, and we're going to grind part of the edge onto this knife. Then we'll take the other hand grinder and we will smooth the edge up. Now you all make sure you got some water sitting there so you can cool as you go, okay? You don't want to get your material too hot. That old grindstone will run for 2 or 3 minutes after you cut it off, you all. That's really, really a nice old grindstone. Okay, now you can see that we've got this made like a surgical instrument right here. Right here's the skinning part of your knife where you cut into the hide, and then the rest of it's going to be the fleshing part. So now I'm going to take it around to the blacksmith shop. I'm going to take the grinder. I'm going to grind this down till it's a little bit thinner, because you can go too far if you're not very careful with these knives, okay? All right, you all. Let me take you back over there under the light. So what we've done is we've actually made a straight razor. See that? So now what we're going to do is we're going to drill the holes for the tang to go down inside the handle of the knife. Okay, you all? Mark the distance down inside here that you want this to go. I'm just taking a magic marker. And this, guys, is a 5/8 of an inch. Hold on just a second. No, this is a 9/16 spur tip bit, okay? I've already marked the very center of this piece of Osage orange. Stuff you can see is smoking because Osage orange is harder than a rock. Pull it out, let it cool. All right, the next thing we're going to do, you all, is we're going to take a saw and we're going to make a slight cut in the center of that hole so that that knife blade don't have any wiggle room, okay? So I'll take a hand saw and do that. So now that you've cut your slot in there, take a file what we're doing is we're making a spot for that to set just like that right there, straight up, okay? That's what we're looking for right there. Next thing we'll do, we'll take our 1/8 inch drill bit over there and we will drill a hole in there for the rivet, okay? This will have one rivet in it. I think you guys can see that, can you? Okay. Now, put your drill bit where that hole is going to be, you guys. I'm going to use just a slightly bigger bit here for that's the hole size right there. Matter of fact, let's just do it that way. Got to be careful. You don't want to hang that blade up and cause that thing to sling around, you guys, because that will cut you bad. All right, there's where it's going to be. So let's drill the hole through, completely through. Not that big a deal. Let's go just a little bit bigger, all the way through. Now we're going to take a little bitty countersinker and we're going to open that hole up just a fuzz. The best way to do this, you guys, is buy you one of these little drill bits that's got the countersinker made right on it. So this is very, very simple. We're just going to make a slight countersink in that, just like a rivet would have, okay? Not very deep at all. Now, the hole should line up. And it does. See? See how your hole lines up? The hole should line up, you guys. All right, just like that right there. Now, we're going to take this thing and cut it off to length, which is 5 inches long. All right, you all, we're going to take some aluminum tape and we're going to go straight around this thing and let it stick up. I got way more than I needed there, didn't I? That's all. That'll work. Now you can do this by taping pasteboard to it, piece of wood to it. But what I found out, you all, is you can take this aluminum tape right here and it's going to seal this up. All right, make sure you reach down on the inside where them rivets is going to pour. Make sure the holes aren't stopped up with burrs. It'll sit right down in there just like so. It'll go right here. Make sure everything's straight. It looks pretty good. Naturally, by now you figured it out. We're going to pour this hot, you guys. So let me get the torch. And I'm going to show you how it was done in the Old West, okay? That might look better turned around this direction. I don't know yet. I think it will. What you got to do is you got to make sure that this doesn't move when we put the liquid in it, okay? All right, you all, what we're using is pewter, okay? See if we can go from scratch right here. It'd take it a minute for it to melt. It's already started to melt. You guys can see that right there. Now I could hold the torch underneath the little pouring thing there, but this is the best way to do it, you guys. Heat that pewter up. And what I found here when you're doing this is you want to go heat up just a little bit more than what you think you're going to need so that you don't come up short. Make sure it's all liquid. Get over there and pour it. We've got a little bit left over, that's good. Now let me show you what that looks like up close, you guys, right after I poured it, okay? Right there it is. Believe it or not, that's how they did old knives way back when. I'll let you guys see this coming off of here. Do you see the rivet? Still see the heat coming off of it. That one didn't come out quite as far as we wanted it to, but this one come out perfect. That's the way you pour a rivet, you all, and that's the way that they did it, making fancy knives for people to eat with and all that kind of stuff. But why not make yourself a skinning tool the same way? So now I'm going to let this cool down a little bit. You can see I've had it in the water to cool it off. Then we'll take it over to the belt sander and we will sand this thing into shape. Now with these knives, you all, there ain't no glue to come loose, to heat up and come loose. This stuff ain't gonna give, okay? I forget how much tin this has got in it. This is lead and tin. I think that's what pewter is. But you can see we poured the rivet. Hope you guys can see that rivet. Come out perfect on this side, not quite perfect on this side. But you just grind it down the way you want it. I need to take a little file and finish this up around the top here. But we have made ourselves a skinning, fleshing knife for the mountain man. And you all, this did not take an hour to do, okay? And by the way, no, you do not have to re-harden this file for this application. This stuff cools off hard enough to still hold a really good edge for what we want it to do, okay? Now let me take it over here and sit down and sand on the handle a little bit, put some oil on it, and we will talk about it just a little bit more. Now you all, I don't care whether you're using a deer antler or any other kind of material that won't melt when you pour hot pewter in it. You can use this technique to make some of the prettiest hidden tang knives, okay? Now, drilling the hole in this thing, you all, and then that liquid going through the hole in the knife and then coming out this handle locks this piece of pewter inside this hole. Not so much that you really need to do it, but that's what you should do. Make sure that you drill you a hole, and it don't even really, you guys have to go straight through the hole of the tang, okay? Just as long as this block has these rivets poured in it with it, it cannot slip out of that block of wood. So there's what it looks like, you all. Osage orange, trapping, skinning, fleshing knife, trimming the flesh off of an animal, and that's the reason it's got this round end on it. You can also debone, take the back straps out of a deer or whatever else with it without this sharp point cutting where you don't want it to cut, okay? That's the reason it's made this way. It's made like a scalpel or a straight razor. But pouring these pewter, hot pewter into this thing, you all, the way that I did this, you can see these things, examples of these old knives done this way from the 1800s up through the Civil War. This is one of the ways that they poured a pewter knife and rivet and made it attach it to the handle the way that you see that's attached. So I think that Osage orange turned out really, really nice. I really do like that right there. And you can count on it, you guys, when you do this correctly. Let me get the other one to show it to you. Here we got both of them together. We just don't have the gut hook in this one here. I decided not to put a gut hook in this one. And this thing will fit in this type of sheath as well. See? So now I have to make a sheath for it. But it doesn't make any difference what type of hidden tang knife you're making, whether it's a Bowie hidden tang or just a whittling knife or a eating knife. Eating knives were made this way, you all, with the hidden tang. That's exactly how they did it, right there. So I hope you learned something. Please, you guys, share the video so that it will get more views, and other people who are interested in this stuff, who are thinking about doing it, can make them one, and they will be tickled to death. Like I say, you do not have to re-harden a file for this particular issue right here, okay? This thing will hold an edge to do the job that you want it to do without re-hardening it, okay? With that, you all, may the good Lord bless you. Until next time, so long for now.